Grid forming up ready for round 10 of the FIA World Touring Car Championship, the second race at Brno in the Czech Republic. Standing start. Our pole man is Ivan Muller in the turbo diesel Seat from James Thompson's Honda. And finally, all 14 rows will be completed by Viktor Shapovalov in the Lada. So, ready to get this thing underway. 10 laps of the circuit here at Brno. There's Jaime Puig and the Seat Sport Boys. Can they pull a win out here? It would be their first ever at Brno. Revs rise, 5 lights will go on between 3 and 7 seconds. It's a very quick change, away they go. Here come the BMWs. Jörg Müller down the middle. He's between the Seat and the Honda, and it's a long run down to the first corner. Porchero on the left-hand side. Very good start. He's ahead of Thompson. He's going to go to third.
Been gobbled up.
Fourth alongside Farfus. Porchero is fourth, and somehow Ivan Muller held the lead there. Tarquini inside Jörg Müller, but Jörg is surely going to take second. There's a long run down to the left-hander, and look behind as well. There's Porchero making another move.
There's a big train of BMWs in there.
Oh, Porchero dive bombs Jörg Müller. He goes to third. Thompson on the outside becomes the inside. Is he going to get ahead of Müller and Farfus? And this is really difficult for the BMWs, John.
Yeah.
They can hit anything except a white car. So
if it's got a BMW badge on it, you don't hit it. But this is a long downhill stretch. Now look at this. There's 5 abreast here.
And the Seats are going. Muller, Tarquini, Thompson, there.
And the BMWs are actually holding each other up here because they're trying not to hit each other.
They're trying to be really careful. Jörg Müller lost ground again to Porchero.
And Alain Menu's got in among them as well.
Yeah, and so too has
Rob
Huff. So the 2 blue Chevrolets, and it's Porchero who's fourth from 7th on the grid. Muller has gone from 4th on the grid to 6th.
Oh, it's actually Huff in front of Menu.
Is it? My goodness me, that was
Huffy's got a better start than Alain.
Great stuff from Rob Huff from row 5 of the grid. So that's a stunning start. He didn't even benefit from the top 8 turnaround, and they both pull out, both pull back in again. Now, what have they done to the Chevys? Have they taken off a bit of wing or something? Who knows?
Well, those Chevys were pretty good in the first race. Now, Rob's obviously sorted the suspension out, but he's just got the jump on Alain. I think Alain got boxed out. If we see a replay at the start, you'll see that he got boxed out slightly of the BMWs, but they're actually holding each other up at the minute and not letting the 3 in front get away.
Well, we've got a long string of cars here, as you say. There are Muller and Tarquini, and Gabrielli pulls out to take the lead from Ivan Muller, and he's going down the inside, the championship leader, right down the inside. That was the onboard view of Montero going past Franz Engstler, so slightly the wrong onboard, but Thompson's having a look on the straight, and the Honda will be trimmed out for maximum speed, but he still can't stay with the turbo diesels, and Tarquini showing his nose again. Ivan slams the door in his face.
There's obviously no team orders on that team.
Well, there's not going to be team orders in anybody's team until maybe we get to Japan or China, but right now it's every man for himself, and those 2 are the top 2 in the championship, so it's stay in front and devil take the hindmost.
There's a great scrap going on behind the 2 of them as they're actually fighting and protecting each other's lines. Tomo's getting right in there, and was it Porchero in there?
Porchero, and Huff stays in front of Muller. Muller had a good run on him, but Huff sat on the inside line and stayed there in 5th place. Then there's Muller. The second blue car is Menu in 7th. 8th place is Farfus.
Tomo having a look down the inside here.
Tomo is storming down the hill. And Tarquini's led. So it was Muller's made a mistake. Tarquini's got by, and Thompson, that's why he had the run on him. Thompson hung out to try now. Porchero's third. Thompson gets in front of Huff. Huff has got Muller down the inside. The white BMW shaves inside. Wow, all change.
This is all going to get very messy in a minute. Go for it, James.
It's going to be messy all the way through. Muller gets bumped into the back of Porchero, loses ground.
Andy Prio's got up in there as well.
Not a chance. Prio is in there, isn't he, as well? Look at those BMWs. And there is Zanardi. He's in front of Porchero. Goodness me, no. Zanardi was in 10th. How's that happened? That can't be right. It is Zanardi. He was 10th at the beginning of this lap.
But it's a
That's
BMW.
What a bun fight this is.
But it's a BMW flying off there. That was a bit of Porchero's back end.
Yeah, the back end of Porchero, and Jörg Müller's dropping right down the order. Jörg's in trouble. He was 6th at the beginning of the lap, and he is struggling now. He's behind Rydell. He's behind Zanardi and the rest. On board with Jörg, who's that in front? Thiago Montero. Montero was 12th at the beginning of the lap. There's Thompson and Menu, and that is the battle for 4th.
Yeah, for 3rd.
third. So Huff
because
got
you got
shuffled out and Menu sneaked through, didn't he?
Muller, we didn't see how that happened, but you got Ivan Muller leading from Tarquini, then Thompson.
Independents, the two Pro Team BMWs, Stefano D'Aste trying to get one over Sergio Hernandez, but Franz Engstler led the Independents category last lap. Tarquini leads comfortably from Ivan Muller, Thompson third, and that is
Nicola Larini.
Larini going by Jordi Janay. That's a change for 9th place, 10th place. Janay goes down to 11th, Larini up to 10th, so Larini might get into the points as well. I'm not going to have a voice left by the time we get to lap 5, never mind lap 10.
Menu's definitely looking for a way past for Thompson here, because Alain reckons he's got a strong car, and the fact he's probably miffed that he got shuffled out at the start there. Tarquini fastest lap of the race, but I think Menu has got the fastest car out there at the moment. Just this big downhill stretch where Tarquini's the fastest car out there. It's all the extra weight, the momentum helps him down the hill. Doesn't help him when he's trying to haul on the anchors though. Rydell there in the Seat, the white number 3 car, that is Augusto Farfus. That's the battle for the last point. Hang on a minute, I was saying that Muller and Farfus would be 1-2 by the end of lap 2. Neither of them are in the points. Jörg Muller and Augusto Farfus. Jörg is down to 13th and plummeting like a stone. I think there's a problem with Jörg. I mean, that can't be... That's not natural. The contact has damaged something on his car. Mario Tyson, well, now his hopes again resting not with Jörg Muller, his girlfriend's chewing his nails, but again with Zanardi. Yeah, Menu's got Thompson there. That was always going to happen because Tomo just doesn't have the front end in that car to keep that Chevrolet behind him. And that's all a matter of time. Menu up to 3rd where he finished race 1 behind 2 BMs. Looking back from Jimmy, there's Alex Zanardi. Hello, right on the back door. And Zanardi's going to be quick up this hill. And it's here really that using his hands to control the car, the throttle and everything else is not a handicap. And he said after race 1, perhaps this is the only racetrack where I've got 0 handicap to anybody else because of the hand controls. That was Engstler and Jörg Muller. I mean, Zanardi could get a good tow behind Tomo down here. Will get a good tow. Zanardi's the lightest car on the field at the moment, so he could just outbrake him on the way into turn 1. He's close enough to look into turn 1, but I'm not sure he will. Downhill though into turns 3, 4, 5, all of those sequence. Thompson is going to be defending hard, and look at Menu behind Ivan Muller. The two Francophiles, Francophones even, Ivan Muller French and Alain Menu, Swiss, share a language, and they look like they're going to share the same bit of track. Here comes Menu down the inside for 2nd place. That's a great move by Menu. Tarquini leads, but Menu, well, Huff just hit the fastest lap of the race. The Chevrolets are the fastest cars out there. Thompson passed by Zanardi. Alex got by him, took him a couple of corners. Thompson's coming back down the inside though, and Huff has got Ivan behind, but Ivan's having trouble stopping. He's into the back of Menu. He's tapped the back of him there. And Ivan was always going to have trouble stopping, and Menu's off. Menu's off, he's back on now, but he's dropped right down the order, and Ivan Muller was never going to stop in time there. I'm not a driver, and even I could see that coming. No, that was a bit ambitious. That was faintly ridiculous. James Thompson with Alex Zanardi and Rob Huff. So Huff now the top Chevrolet. Menu rejoins, a couple of spots behind him. I don't think Alain will be sending Ivan any... Jeez, and the car is broken at the back as well. Yeah, there's something damaged on it. And that'll be the trip over the gravel. Larini's alongside. Maybe he just had filth on the tyres. It could be. And that's Montero's Seat, I think, behind Larini. Yes, it is. And he's going to go by Menu as well. And what promised so much for Alain Menu after 3rd in race 1 looked like another podium and maybe the top step. And Huff is going to do Zanardi up through the uphill hairpin. Well, uphill left, right. That's a great little scrap here between Thompson, Zanardi, Huff and Porchero. But I'm sure Alain he's absolutely spinning in a minute. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the pits, and look at this. That's Rydell going back ahead of Farfus for 8th place, or 7th as it is now that we've lost Menu, so they're both in the points. Look at Huffy come onto the straight, they're being held up by Tomo, and now towed along by Tomo as well. Yeah, they're punching a hole in the air there, and you might just see the whole... this could get interesting. I think what happened with Alain was that he just got loose, got on the gravel at the side of the track, and he's got some rubbish on the back tyres. It's going to take half a lap to get rid of it. I don't think he's got a problem. It'll be a bit lighter because he's got no back bumper now.
He's still with Larini. There's our race leader, Gabriele Tarquini. I can't believe he's still there. Ivan Muller second. Thompson defending like Billy O. He said he was going to have the widest Honda in Christendom, and boy does he. Zanardi looks left, looks right. Huff behind. Alex, watch your rearview mirrors. Umberto Grano with the shock of white hair there, watching the action, and it's absolutely non-stop. Down the inside comes the BMW. Zanardi can't get through. Huff having a look. Portiero dragging the back bumper. And the fastest race lap now to the man who's second in the independence category, Sergio Hernandez, who won it in race one. He's chasing Frank Zensler. He's trying to get by Andy Prio to get up onto the tail of Engster in 14th. And here comes Alex. Alex has got the run, and Rob Huff's going inside. Thompson's held out to dry. Thompson tried to shut the door too late at the apex. Huff got into him.
These two have got history from this weekend already.
And Huff's made another impact, and here comes Rydell. Huff's lighter. There's Farfus going inside Portiero. 4 wide. Can they get 5?
Absolutely.
Yes, they can. And Farfus is going to sneak through. He does. It's Rydell, not Portiero, not Montero. Rydell, the say out there, gets eased away, and Thompson is still hanging on to third place.
Yeah, this is a slightly more bruising race than the first one. Tomo's now back in this train up because he did admit that he doesn't have the fastest car, but geez, he'll make it a wide one. So that's exactly what he's doing.
Thompson not, of course, third. He's fourth. Zanardi got by him. So Thompson fourth, Huff fifth, Farfus 6th, what's left of Portero 7th, Rydell 8th, Farfus came up from 9th to 6th on that lap. So in the melee, this is about the most exciting touring car race we've had all year. So well, can we come back next week and have another one?
This just kind of half proves that the weight is not actually, now we see an action replay of a little bit of tapping going on here.
Well, Zanardi got through.
That was a good catch.
Was determined to shut the door, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Huff was on the line. Thompson closed the door across his nose, and he knew that the car wasn't going to fit in the gap, so he was ready to catch it when it went.
Yeah, but this actually looks like these cars are very, very closely matched, and they're all weighing slightly different this weekend. In some cases, up to 100 kilos.
Huffy on the inside, and that was helped. Thompson was hung out to dry there. Huff had Farfus behind him, and the two cars were going quicker than Thompson's on its own. In fact, Huff was leading the queue. Thompson was on the other side of the road.
And Menu's actually the third. She's gone from leading Chevrolet to the third Chevrolet now because Nick Larini's in front of him as well.
Zanardi on a fastest first sector of the race for anyone. He was 1.1 behind Ivan Muller, second to third.
Oh,
Thompson again gets sideways. He tried to shut the door again on Portiero and loses out, and he's just staying in the middle there. No, I'm not giving up. You're going to have to punt me off.
It's going to be a Chevrolet sandwich here when he gets to this next corner.
Well, he is right in the middle, and Jörg Muller right behind wants to get through.
No, boys, that's not going to work.
Rydell, Thompson, Muller, 4 cars, 1 line, and it's not a wide first corner. Tomo drifts out wide again. He's got filth on the tyres, and that's Menu going inside and Thiago Montero, and that's Zanardi. I said he was 1.1 behind. He was nothing behind 2 corners ago. He passes Muller for second. Zanardi is not going to win one race. Zanardi has got 5 laps to make it a double race winning weekend.
There's about 3 seconds adrift on Tarquini here, and he could just do this.
He's got the speed. Zanardi is going to set the fastest lap of anyone in the race on this lap, and he's had to pass Ivan Muller on the way. I think Zanardi's got a race 2 winning car under him. Tarquini's got 3 seconds and 5 laps. Tell you what, Gabriele had better be very good at defence on the last lap, because I think he's going to have big pressure from his compatriot.
I think Gabriele's up for that task, but that's quite incredible. I mean, Zanardi's come through from 8th on the grid, but to be fair, there's been an awful lot of pushing and shoving here, and they've all been beating the life out of each other, holding them up. I mean, the fastest lap of the race has just gone in by Zanardi, but the rest they're a good half second or so off what they've been doing previously.
Further back, the first of those BMWs now is Prio, still trying to hold off the independents. This is looking back from Andy. I think that's Engstler and Montero. So Prio escapes that little independence battle he can't stay away from. And Coronel's right behind him from the back row of the grid. Coronel up to 14th. But look at this. Again, Farfus chasing what's left of Rob Huff's car. So Farfus finally getting into his stride, but he's only in 5th position.
But he's just done his personal fastest lap of this race, so he's obviously getting together now.
Got a bit of clear air to get away from the much lightened and modified Felix Portiero's car, which is dragging all sorts of bits. Front wing, back bumper, everything's flapping in the breeze on that car. And Huff, tell you what, Farfus is going to have to be very good indeed to get by Huff. Huff is the Mr. Red Mist man now after all of that banging and bumping.
Yeah, he wants to see third on the he wants a third place on this podium. Yes, he wants a first place, but the best he's going to get here. And I'm not sure he's got the pace to actually catch Ivan Muller.
I don't know, last lap 1.1 seconds quicker than Ivan Muller, Rob Huff, so I think he has got the pace to catch
but
Muller.
To be fair, Muller was passed by Zanardi on that lap, so that would slow Ivan down a bit when he had to sort of compromise his line when Zanardi went past him.
Didn't slow Alex, did he? He's still got the fastest lap of the race, so I wonder what he's going to do in clear air on his own. He was 4.01 behind Tarquini at the line. Remember that, we'll try and see what it is this time.
But with only 4 laps to go and a second a lap, it's a fair ask to be a second a lap faster than Gabriele Tarquini.
Absolutely right, no question about it. And he wasn't quite a second a lap quicker on the last lap.
Farfus lining Rob up here for a take.
And Rob having none of it, back onto the racing line. Now they start to climb the hill, and Ivan Muller is getting closer and bigger in Rob Huff's view. Onto the straight, just a slight incline at the end of it.
3 seconds, he did actually take very nearly 1 second off Tarquini.
4.01 to 3.10. So another very quick lap, 2:10.470, fastest lap of the race for Alex Zanardi, and he can smell it in his nostrils.
I think he's going to be right on the back bumper of Tarquini by the end of this race, but whether Tarquini's going to give him one inch more than he needs to give him, I would doubt that very much.
Oh no, not a centimetre, not even a layer of paint more than he can afford. The question is, will he have any tyre left at the end of the race to hold off Zanardi if Zanardi gets close enough to have a last lap lunge? But now it is all about Zanardi's touch, feel, fluidity, and it's just about speed. And don't forget, these are 2 guys in their 40s, the 2 oldest guys on the racetrack, barring Franz Engstler, and they are out front, and all these youngsters are busy duffing each other up and letting them get away. But Ivan Muller, 3rd place at the moment in the first of these 3 cars in that Seat. That's not lasting for another lap, is it? Huff and Farfus both much quicker.
Yeah, but these young guys are beating 11 daylights at each other today. All these cars are going to be hugely lighter than they started the race.
Be interesting to see what the stewards make of a couple of the incidents as well.
I think there's a couple of those, some were driving, just genuine racing incidents, but I think there's a couple there that might be up for discussion after the race.
This is Ivan Muller hanging on to 3rd place from Rob Huff. Well, we had 1 Chevrolet on the podium in race 1. We might have another Chevrolet on the podium in race 2. But we are, at the moment, looking at the first ever win for Seat at this track. And for Gabriele Tarquini, that'll be a remarkable achievement. The championship leader, one of the heaviest cars in the field, and to come to a racetrack that's been dominated by BMW in recent memory, then that will be a really sterling job if he can do it.
But what's really helped Gabriele is that the rest of the field behind him were kicking the living daylights out of each other, and when that happens, you slow each other down, and it just allows the bloke in front to get away. So Tarquini put his head down, he could see them beating the living daylights out of each other, and thought, well, I'll just get my head down here and go for it. And he's got the gap. But that lap around, Zanardi took another, just slightly over 0.8 of a second out of Tarquini. So he's not going to get that.
Good move by Huff.
Yeah,
great move by Huff. He saw that Muller was deep on the dirty side of the track on defence, and he said, I'm not going to go around the outside.
Farfus is going to have him as well, yeah.
He waited for Muller to understeer wide, went straight by, and Farfus will sit there. He'll go around the outside, he'll have the inside line, and unless Muller runs into the back of Huff, yeah, see, the Muller menu incident, I'm thinking that I would like the stewards to have a look at that and have a word with Ivan about being over-ambitious.
Ivan's just doing a bit of grass tracking now.
He just ran out of tyres, didn't he, about a lap ago, and he's lost 3 places there because through has gone Felix Portiero in the Superleggera BMW. And Thompson hovering now outside the top 10.
I think you should look carefully now because Alain Menu is going to be right on the back of Ivan Muller in a minute or 2, and he may just repay the little love tap that he got.
Kindness,
yeah, I mean, it might just be a little warning.
Looking at the independence battle behind former independent champion Tom Coronel in the number 20 Seat is our independent battle. Stefano D'Aste, the points leader, who didn't score in race 1. Behind him, Franz Engstler in the Liqui-Moly Engstler BMW. Third, Sergio Hernandez. And Jordi Genet was in the middle of this group, but they've dropped him. Genet's gone out the back of this group and is just ahead of Pierre-Yves Courtals and Andrei Romanov. So Engstler, the Engstler BMW team for the first time this weekend, really on the front running pace, and that's got to be really reassuring for them, because they were a bit all at sea over the first few race weekends, and they've now, their engineering ability has turned the car around into a genuine front runner, and they're right up mixing it with the championship leader.
Yeah, now we've got Alain Menu right on the back end of Ivan Muller, and I would suggest if Ivan doesn't watch what he's doing, Alain's going to remove the rear bumper.
It was 2.2 from 3.1 last lap. They have completed 8 laps. It's lap 9, 1 to go.
Zanardi's just done the fastest lap of the race again with 1.2 seconds between him and Tarquini. This will be close at the end of the race.
He was 200
right on him,
more than a second quicker than Gabrielli. 1.2 seconds to get to Gabrielli and somehow do something on the last lap. He's going to come on. Oh, and that's it.
Would that be Ivan Muller?
Yeah.
No, it's Ricard Rydell.
Ricard. Well, Ricard's running out front end as well.
Yeah, I was just wondering if maybe Alain had given him a tap.
Oh, no. That was Farfus into the back of Huff. Or was it somebody into the back of Menu?
Hard to tell.
Farfus into the back
maybe
of
we'll
Huff.
see. Maybe we'll see it again.
I think it was Farfus into the back of Huff, because there was a BMW following a Chevy, and I don't think we had that anywhere else.
You get one more lap in this race, and Alex is right on him now.
This is the last lap of the race, and he's going to be very close, but I don't think he's got enough time left. What? Oh, I don't know. Alex is pushing the BMW harder than it's been pushed all weekend, and he's closing visibly by the corner, metre by metre. He's getting closer, and it's all gone wrong. Engstler's gone into the back of D'Aste. Hernandez is going to win the independence category for the second time. D'Aste's car is rooted at the back. Engstler's at the front. Oh, and D'Aste got out of shape. It was D'Aste trying to close the door, and he'd lost that in a big way. Last corner's coming up. Can he catch him up the hill? Can he pass him into the final corner? This is the 2 oldest men in the top flight of the championship. Tarquini coming alongside Zanardi.
And he's got the right lane
into the final corner. There's a Honda in front, and is he going to be able to do it? Down
this
into
is
the last 2 corners. No, they're too good. They're too good.
No.
Zanardi holds on. Tarquini's got the line, the drag to the flag. It's going to see Tarquini win it for Seat, the first ever win for Seat here. And Zanardi just can't make it a double race winning weekend. Fantastic. What a finale. Huff third, Farfus fourth, Porchero in fifth, Ivan Muller sixth ahead of Alain Menu.
Menu just trying to get back on the tail end of Muller there for a tap.
Well, maybe he'll tap him into the first corner, and Jörg Muller takes the point in 8th. Prio 9th does not get a point, and Hernandez wins the independent category. Seat win with Gabriele Tarquini at a track they've never won at before.
And a very heavy car as well, so I think that kind of proves that they're not exactly compromised at the moment. They're still a quick package. But that was a fantastic race. It's very close between all of these manufacturers and all of the drivers.
Well, Stewart's going to have a lot to look at, I think, judging by the number of damaged cars. Pierre-Yves Courtals second in the independents. Andrei Romanov's damaged car in third. But our race winner with an impeccably unmarked car, Gabriele Tarquini.
Professional drivers.
Gabriele Tarquini and Alex Zanardi, 2 Italians winning here in the Czech Republic. We haven't even got to Imola and Monza. We've got another couple of months before they can start getting wound up in front of their home crowd. What on earth are these 2 going to produce then? Zanardi won race 1, second in race 2. I tell you what, that is the best race weekend he's had since he was racing in Champ Car in the States. That's a fantastic effort by Alex Zanardi.
I mean, that whole team, you know, Ravalia, all his boys have done a fantastic job this weekend. Both cars have been very competitive, but Zanardi, that's a fantastic boost for him because he just loves this place. But there are other tracks that we're going to that again won't work his hands and his arms quite as hard as he really needs to in this car. And I think you'll see, again, we're going to see points this year where he's going to get better